In a world that often feels overwhelming and disconnected, Stoicism offers us a timeless guide to living with purpose, resilience, and connection. At its heart, Stoicism teaches us the importance of virtues like courage, wisdom, gratitude, and the strength we find in meaningful relationships. It's not about shutting out the world but about finding balance within ourselves and fostering supportive connections with those around us. Today, let's explore how these principles can transform not just our lives but the lives of those we touch. 1. The power of inner worth. True fulfillment doesn't come from a fancy title, a big paycheck, or the number of likes on your latest post. It comes from within, from valuing ourselves through the timeless Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These qualities are the foundation of a meaningful life, offering a sense of purpose and stability that external achievements can never provide. Think about a moment when you achieved something great, maybe a promotion or finishing a big project. The excitement likely faded after a while, right? That's because external rewards are fleeting. What stays with you is the inner growth it took to get there, the discipline you exercised, the courage you showed, and the wisdom you gained along the way. These are the real measures of your worth. Stoicism reminds us that our value isn't tied to things outside of us. Whether we succeed or fail, what truly matters is how we respond. Imagine being passed over for a job you really wanted. It's easy to feel defeated, but a Stoic perspective shifts the focus. Did you act with integrity during the process? Did you give it your best effort? If so, you've already succeeded in ways that matter most. Valuing your inner worth means consistently aligning your actions with your values, even when no one is watching. It's about showing up for yourself with honesty, fairness, and courage every single day. For instance, standing up for what's right in a tough conversation, even if it's uncomfortable, is an act of justice that reinforces your inner strength. Ultimately, your worth is rooted in who you are, not what you achieve. By prioritizing the cultivation of Stoic virtues, you build a life that's not just successful by external standards but deeply fulfilling. Remember, your inner worth isn't just something to discover, it's something to nurture and carry with you, no matter where life takes you. 2. Recognizing inherent value. Your worth isn't defined by where you are, what you own, or even the challenges you face. It's defined by how you respond, with strength, resilience, and the unshakable belief in your ability to rise above. Stoicism teaches us that our true value is rooted not in our circumstances but in the virtues we bring to every situation. Imagine a storm hits, a literal storm or a figurative one, like losing a job or facing criticism. While the world around you might feel chaotic, your response determines your strength. Do you panic and let fear take over, or do you take a deep breath, focus on what you can control, and act with purpose? The Stoics remind us that it's in these moments of pressure that our true character is revealed. Think of someone you admire, not for their wealth or status, but for how they handle adversity. Perhaps it's a friend who remained composed and kind during a tough breakup or a colleague who maintained their integrity during a professional setback. Their worth isn't tied to their situation but to the courage and resilience they showed in the face of it. Recognizing your inherent value means letting go of the idea that external circumstances define you. A difficult day at work, a failed relationship, or even a personal mistake doesn't diminish your worth. Instead, it's an opportunity to reflect and grow. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your value is unchanging, like the roots of a mighty tree that remain firm despite the weather. By focusing on your responses, choosing wisdom over impulsivity, courage over fear, and resilience over defeat, you align with your deepest potential. Remember, your worth isn't something to prove to others, it's something to embody for yourself, every single day. 3. Avoiding settling for less. How often do we tell ourselves, this is good enough, when deep down, we know we deserve better? Whether it's staying in an unfulfilling job, tolerating a one-sided relationship, or ignoring our true passions, settling for less than we deserve doesn't just hold us back, it chips away at our inherent value. Stoicism urges us to act in alignment with our values, reminding us that settling is a choice we don't have to make. Imagine being stuck in a job that drains your energy or leaves you uninspired. You might stay because it feels safe or because you're afraid of the unknown. But ask yourself, does this align with who you are and what you want? A Stoic perspective would encourage you to evaluate whether your current path reflects your core values and, if not, to take deliberate steps toward change, even if it's uncomfortable. Settling often stems from fear of failure, rejection, or uncertainty. Stoicism empowers us to confront these fears by focusing on what we can control, our actions and attitudes. For instance, if you're in a relationship that doesn't uplift you, acting in alignment with your values might mean having an honest conversation or choosing to walk away. It's not about arrogance, it's about self-respect. The Stoics remind us that our worth isn't defined by external circumstances, but by our commitment to living authentically. Accepting less than we deserve sends a message, to ourselves and others, that our values don't matter. Choosing to act with courage and integrity, even when it's hard, reinforces our belief in our own worth. Settling is easy, but it's not fulfilling. By aligning your choices with your values, you reclaim your power and remind yourself that you're capable of creating a life that truly reflects who you are. Remember, you are deserving, not of perfection, but of a life that honors your inherent value and aspirations. 4. Acknowledging efforts and virtues. How often do we downplay our achievements, brushing them off as luck or no big deal? In doing so, we fail to recognize the discipline, courage, and wisdom it took to reach those milestones. Stoicism teaches us to honor our efforts and virtues, not out of arrogance, but as an honest acknowledgement of the work we've put in to grow and succeed. Think about your last accomplishment. Maybe it was landing a new job, solving a complex problem, or even sticking to a challenging personal goal. It's tempting to say, anyone could have done that. But could they? Reflect on the late nights you spent preparing, the doubts you overcame, or the focus you maintained. These are not mere coincidences, they're a testament to your resilience and determination. Acknowledging your efforts isn't about feeding your ego, it's about grounding yourself in the truth of your journey. For instance, consider a time when you made a bold decision, like starting a new project or stepping out of your comfort zone. That decision likely required courage to face the unknown and wisdom to navigate uncertainty. These virtues deserve recognition, not dismissal. Stoicism encourages balance, appreciating our strengths without becoming prideful. As Marcus Aurelius advised, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Recognizing your achievements means seeing them as a reflection of your virtues in action, an honest appraisal of your growth and effort. The next time you achieve something, big or small, take a moment to reflect. What virtues did you practice to get there? Discipline? Courage? Temperance? By acknowledging these qualities, you not only build confidence but also reinforce the values that guide your life. Celebrate your progress, not for validation from others, but as a commitment to recognizing and honoring the best in yourself. 5. Balancing self-care and service. We often think of self-care as indulgent or selfish, especially when so many people rely on us. But Stoicism teaches that taking care of oneself isn't just important, it's essential for effectively supporting others. Like trying to fill a cup from an empty pitcher, you can't give your best to others if you're running on empty. Imagine staying late at work every night to help your team, skipping meals or sleep in the process. At first, it feels noble, selfless, even. But over time, the exhaustion sets in, your patience wears thin, and you realize you're not showing up as the best version of yourself. Self-care isn't about neglecting others, it's about ensuring you have the energy and clarity to serve them well. Stoicism reminds us of the dichotomy of control. We can't control everything, but we can control how well we take care of our physical, mental, and emotional health. For example, practicing self-care might mean setting boundaries, saying no to tasks that stretch you too thin, or carving out time each day for a walk, meditation, or a hobby that rejuvenates you. Self-care also involves being honest about your limitations. It's not a weakness to step back, it's a strength to recognize when you need to recharge. Consider a time when you prioritized rest or reflection, and how much more present, patient, and supportive you were afterward. By taking care of yourself, you're not only protecting your own well-being but also ensuring that you can truly be there for others when they need you. Balancing self-care and service is about aligning your actions with both compassion and wisdom. When you prioritize your well-being, you're not just helping yourself, you're ensuring that when you give to others, it comes from a place of abundance, not depletion. Remember, self-care isn't selfish, it's a foundation for living and giving with purpose. 6. The Dichotomy of Control. Life is full of uncertainties, unexpected outcomes, other people's opinions, or changes in circumstances. Stoicism offers a liberating perspective: focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. This principle, known as the dichotomy of control, is key to maintaining inner peace and living with purpose. Imagine preparing for a big presentation. You can control your preparation, the effort, the research, and the practice you put in. But you can't control how your audience reacts. Maybe someone is distracted, or maybe the technology glitches. Instead of fixating on these uncontrollable factors, Stoicism reminds us to channel our energy into what truly matters: the quality of your effort and how you respond to challenges. This mindset isn't about indifference, it's about clarity. When you focus on your actions, such as treating others with kindness, staying disciplined, or prioritizing self-care, you create a sense of stability. For instance, when navigating a difficult relationship, you can't control someone else's behavior, but you can control how you communicate and whether you set healthy boundaries. Letting go of what you can't control doesn't mean you're giving up. It means accepting reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. This acceptance frees you from unnecessary stress and allows you to focus on actions that align with your values and goals. The dichotomy of control is a tool for empowerment. By directing your energy toward what you can influence, your thoughts, actions, and self-care, you live with intention and purpose. Letting go of the rest isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Embrace this principle, and you'll find not only peace but also the strength to navigate life's uncertainties with grace and resilience. 7. Overcoming comparison. In today's world of curated social media feeds and endless highlight reels, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparison. We measure our lives against snapshots of others' success, forgetting that we're only seeing their best moments, not their struggles. Stoicism offers a way out. By redirecting focus inward, toward our own growth and virtues, we can foster contentment and free ourselves from the toxicity of comparison. Imagine scrolling through your phone and seeing a peer achieve something you've dreamed of: a promotion, a new house, or a personal milestone. That pang of envy sneaks in, and suddenly, your own accomplishments feel small. Stoicism encourages us to pause and ask, what does this really mean for me? Often, the answer is, nothing. Their journey doesn't diminish yours. Instead of comparing, turn inward and reflect on your progress. Did you show courage in facing a challenge today? Did you act with integrity when no one was watching? These moments, though less visible than public accolades, are far more valuable. They represent growth that's uniquely yours, growth that aligns with your virtues and values. Comparison often stems from forgetting what truly matters. It's not about keeping pace with others but about becoming the best version of yourself. For instance, if someone's achievement inspires you, let it motivate you to pursue your own goals, not make you question your worth. Admire their success without letting it overshadow your progress. Ultimately, overcoming comparison means shifting your perspective. Instead of looking outward for validation, look inward for fulfillment. Celebrate the steps you've taken, however small, and trust that your path is exactly as it should be. By focusing on personal growth and virtues, you'll find that contentment isn't something you chase, it's something you cultivate within yourself. 8. Investing in personal growth. Self-improvement isn't just about achieving goals or reaching milestones, it's an act of self-respect. When you invest in your personal growth, you're acknowledging your inherent worth and taking intentional steps toward becoming the best version of yourself. Stoicism reminds us that progress isn't about grand transformations but about regular reflection and small, consistent efforts that compound over time. Imagine dedicating just a few minutes each day to personal growth. Maybe you start journaling to clarify your thoughts, practicing mindfulness to cultivate inner peace, or reading a book to expand your knowledge. These simple actions might not seem groundbreaking in the moment, but over time, they lay the foundation for meaningful change. Consider the analogy of a garden. If you tend to it daily, watering, weeding, and nurturing, it flourishes. But if you neglect it, weeds take over. Your inner world is no different. By prioritizing personal growth, you cultivate virtues like wisdom, courage, and discipline, creating a life that reflects your highest potential. Investing in yourself also builds resilience. Life's challenges become opportunities for learning and adaptation rather than setbacks. For instance, taking a course to improve your skills or stepping out of your comfort zone to try something new isn't just about the outcome, it's about the growth you experience along the way. Self-improvement doesn't require perfection, only commitment. Start small and stay consistent. Each effort, no matter how minor, is a step forward. By honoring your growth, you're not only showing respect for yourself but also inspiring others to do the same. Remember, the journey of personal development is lifelong, and every step you take is an investment in the person you're meant to become. 9. Detaching from external validation. How often do we chase the approval of others, hoping their praise will affirm our worth? Stoicism teaches us that true validation doesn't come from applause or recognition, it comes from living in alignment with our values. When we let go of the need for external validation, we find a deeper, more lasting sense of fulfillment rooted in our integrity and purpose. Imagine achieving something you're proud of, like completing a project or making a meaningful decision. If no one acknowledges it, does that diminish its value? Stoicism reminds us that the worth of our actions isn't tied to others' opinions. It's about whether we acted with wisdom, courage, and authenticity, whether we stayed true to who we are. External validation is fleeting, and relying on it can lead to insecurity. One moment, the world applauds, the next, it's silent. Instead of seeking approval, focus on your intentions and efforts. For instance, if you're working on a personal goal, ask yourself, am I doing this because it aligns with my values, or because I want to impress others? Shifting your perspective to prioritize inner alignment empowers you to act with clarity and purpose. Detaching from external validation doesn't mean ignoring feedback or isolating yourself. It means valuing others' input while staying grounded in your own sense of self-worth. For example, constructive criticism can guide growth, but it shouldn't define your value. Your worth remains constant, independent of others' judgments. Living authentically is one of the greatest freedoms. When you detach from the need for external validation, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster of approval and rejection. Instead, you anchor yourself in the steady foundation of your values, finding peace in the knowledge that you're living a life true to yourself. 10. Detaching from external validation. How often do we look to others for approval, waiting for a good job or a nod of acceptance to feel worthy? Stoicism teaches us that true validation doesn't come from others' opinions but from living in alignment with our values. It's about grounding our worth in what we control, our actions, intentions, and integrity, rather than the fleeting and unpredictable judgments of others. Imagine receiving praise for something you achieved. While it feels good in the moment, what happens when the applause fades? If your sense of worth depends on external validation, you're left chasing the next round of approval, like trying to fill a bottomless cup. Stoicism invites you to step off this treadmill and instead measure your worth by your own standards. Living by your values means acting with courage, honesty, and purpose, regardless of whether anyone notices. For example, choosing to do the right thing in a difficult situation, even if no one acknowledges it, strengthens your character. That inner alignment is the kind of validation that lasts. Detaching from external approval doesn't mean becoming indifferent to others, it means not letting their opinions define you. When someone criticizes you unfairly, pause and ask yourself, does this align with who I know I am? If it doesn't, let it go. If it does, take it as an opportunity to grow. By focusing on living virtuously and authentically, you free yourself from the need for constant validation. True contentment comes from knowing you've acted with integrity and purpose. Remember, the applause of others may come and go, but the quiet confidence of living by your values is a reward that endures. 11. Facing fear and pursuing dreams. Fear of failure often whispers, "What if you're not good enough?" It can paralyze us, keeping us from pursuing our dreams and living fully. But Stoicism teaches us that failure isn't an end, it's a stepping stone. By reframing failure as an opportunity for growth, we can face life's challenges with courage and purpose. Think of a time you hesitated to act because you feared the outcome. Maybe it was applying for a job, starting a new project, or taking a chance on something you truly wanted. What held you back wasn't the actual challenge but the imagined failure. Stoicism reminds us to confront this fear by focusing on what we can control, our effort, preparation, and mindset. Failure, when approached with the right perspective, becomes a teacher. For instance, if you didn't get the promotion you wanted, what did the experience teach you? Perhaps it revealed areas for growth or new skills to develop. Every setback carries a lesson, and embracing those lessons strengthens your resilience and wisdom. Stoicism also encourages us to visualize the worst-case scenario, not to dwell on it, but to diminish its power. This practice, known as premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, helps us see that even the worst outcomes are often manageable. It reminds us that courage isn't the absence of fear but acting in spite of it. Pursuing your dreams isn't about guaranteeing success, it's about living authentically and striving for what matters to you. By viewing failure as part of the journey, you free yourself from its grip and step forward with confidence. Remember, every bold step you take brings you closer to growth, fulfillment, and the life you're meant to live. Let courage be your compass, and let your dreams guide your way. 12. Happiness through virtue. Happiness isn't hidden in a promotion, a new car, or the number of likes on a post. True happiness, as Stoicism teaches, comes from living virtuously, practicing gratitude, and grounding ourselves in the present moment. It's a state of being that doesn't depend on external achievements but on the values we embody and the choices we make every day. Think of a time when you achieved a goal, only to find the satisfaction short-lived. That's because external rewards are fleeting. Stoicism reminds us that lasting happiness is rooted in virtues like courage, justice, wisdom, and temperance. For instance, standing up for what's right or choosing self-discipline in a moment of temptation brings a deeper, more enduring joy than any material success. Gratitude also plays a key role in cultivating happiness. Take a moment each day to reflect on what you're thankful for, a kind word from a friend, the beauty of nature, or simply the ability to breathe and think. This practice shifts your focus from what's missing to what's abundant, creating a sense of contentment that external achievements can't provide. Living in the present moment is another cornerstone of happiness. Often, we dwell on past regrets or worry about the future, missing the beauty of now. Stoicism encourages us to embrace each moment fully, understanding that the present is the only time we truly have control over. For example, instead of rushing through a meal, savor it, appreciating its taste and nourishment. Happiness through virtue is a choice, a daily commitment to align your actions with your values, to practice gratitude, and to cherish the present. By focusing on what truly matters, you create a sense of fulfillment that external accomplishments can never match. Remember, happiness isn't something you chase, it's something you cultivate by living a life of virtue and intention. 13. Community and support. While Stoicism emphasizes personal resilience, it also recognizes the profound importance of community and support in living a meaningful life. Building relationships rooted in trust, mutual respect, and shared values doesn't just affirm our worth, it enriches our pursuit of happiness and virtue. Imagine facing a challenge alone versus with the encouragement of someone who believes in you. A friend who offers guidance, a partner who listens, or a mentor who challenges you to grow can make all the difference. Stoicism reminds us that while our inner strength is essential, the connections we nurture create a foundation of shared strength and purpose. Meaningful relationships are not just about receiving support, they're about giving it too. When you offer empathy, encouragement, or simply your presence to someone else, you create a ripple effect of positivity. For instance, showing kindness to a colleague having a tough day can uplift them in ways you may not immediately see, while also reinforcing your own sense of compassion and virtue. Stoic philosophy encourages us to view ourselves as part of a greater whole. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the interconnectedness of humanity, emphasizing that our actions, no matter how small, impact those around us. By fostering mutual support, you're not only strengthening your relationships but also contributing to a community built on trust and shared values. Building a supportive community doesn't require grand gestures. It starts with simple acts, reaching out to a friend, listening without judgment, or expressing gratitude to someone who has helped you. These moments of connection affirm our shared humanity and remind us that we're not alone on this journey. True strength lies not in isolation but in recognizing the power of togetherness. By cultivating meaningful relationships and fostering mutual support, you create a life that is not only virtuous but also deeply fulfilling. Remember, as you support others, you also grow, and in that growth, you find the richest forms of happiness and purpose. Stoicism reminds us that happiness, resilience, and fulfillment come from within, from living virtuously, embracing gratitude, and building meaningful connections. By focusing on what we can control, valuing ourselves, and nurturing our communities, we create a life of purpose and shared strength. Now, it's time to take action. Reflect on one Stoic principle that resonates with you today, whether it's practicing gratitude, reaching out to someone in your community, or embracing courage in the face of challenges. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's inspire each other on this journey. If you found this message meaningful, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and join a growing community dedicated to living with intention and wisdom. Together, let's embody the timeless values of Stoicism and make the world a little brighter, one step at a time.